Welcome, students, to week 1 of our Advent adventure, or Adventure, if you will. Since Christmas is the scariest time of year, I'm going to start out by telling you a scary story. It was a dark October night, and my wife and I were getting ready for bed. Do you ever get that just eerie feeling that you're not alone? Kind of like someone's watching you? Obviously, I knew I wasn't alone. My wife was there, my 2 cats, Marshall and Millie, were there, but I just had this creepy feeling. I laid in bed, stiff, tense, just staring at the darkness in the doorway, just letting my imagination run wild. I would hear random noises throughout the apartment, and I would think, what if someone's here? What if someone has broken into our apartment? What would I do? I slowly tiptoed out of bed. I turned on the flashlight on my phone, and I started looking throughout the apartment. I checked the living room, and there was nothing there. I checked the kitchen, and there was nothing there. And I could actually go to sleep this time because I was at peace knowing that I had checked the whole apartment. A few hours later, I suddenly jolted awake to the sound of shattering glass not once but twice. It was coming from the kitchen. That's where our front door is. Rachel woke up too, and she wanted me to check it out, and so I figured, I guess I'm a good husband, I probably should go, but I was really totally fine just staying there and hiding under the covers. So I grabbed my light and I grabbed my pocket knife and I head into the kitchen. And I shine the light throughout the kitchen and I scour the room and I see that the door's closed and the window that's on the door is intact. And I scan my light onto the floor and I see 2 glasses shattered. I shine my light up to the cabinets and the countertops, and I see that in the cabinets all of our glasses had been ruffled through and dishes moved around, and my heart is pounding. And I shine the light down past the cabinet onto the countertop, and I see sitting there Marshall, my cat, overlooking the mess he had just made. I breathed a sigh of relief. I mean, of course, I was frustrated that Marshall broke all our glasses, but I knew that I could sleep easy now, knowing that we were the only ones in the house. Or were we? Yeah, we were, because I checked. Sometimes I get a little paranoid, a little freaked out over nothing. But over the next 4 weeks, we're going to be looking at people in the biblical Christmas story who actually had reasons to be scared. Now, these videos, they're not just something I want you to watch. I'm trying to set you up for your own journey towards Jesus this Christmas. To start, I want you to pause the video on this next screen while you read this scripture. So let's recap this just for a quick second. Mary, who by the way is just a teenager, finds out that she's going to be pregnant. And she responds and she says to this angel, she's like, what? How is that possible? I'm still a virgin. Because she knows that in her time, it's not possible to be pregnant and also be a virgin. And so she's like, what? This doesn't make any sense. Not only that, but back in her day, being pregnant before being married was a big deal. The punishment for doing something like this is being stoned. Okay, not that kind of stoned. Getting rocks thrown at you until you die kind of stoned. The coming of Jesus was scary for Mary. Scary for Mary, that rhymed. She had to believe in the impossible. She had to believe that God was doing something far greater than what she could ever expect. Sometimes it's hard to grasp the awesome things that God is doing in our life and all around us because we have certain expectations for the way things should go. Now, the angel told Mary that Jesus was going to grow up to become a king. And if you let Jesus become the king of your life, your foundation, your guide, your teacher, it can be kind of scary because he might ask you to take a risk like Mary. He might ask you to step into the unknown. He might ask you to do something that you probably wouldn't choose for yourself to do. He might ask you to do something totally crazy. He might ask you to invite someone who's not a Christian to come to church with you. Or to invite them over to watch the online service together. He might want you to pray for the person who's bullying you. Or maybe he wants you to speak out about something that's wrong that you see happening within your friend group. Maybe for you, simply praying and talking to someone that you can't see there in front of you is going outside of your comfort zone. I'm going to have you pause this video again on this next screen. And on this next screen, there's going to be a question or 2, maybe 3. And what I want you to do is I want you to sit and just answer those questions. You can just think about your answers to the questions. I highly recommend writing them down in a journal, or maybe you could type them into your phone. However you answer these questions, it's totally up to you. Go ahead and do that. I want to remind you guys what the angel said to Mary. Don't be afraid. Those were the right words, because even though Mary faced all kinds of crazy and difficult and scary situations, God still took care of her. She didn't get stoned. She ended up marrying Joseph, and they had Jesus, and he grew up and saved the world. This Christmas, don't be afraid to let Jesus be the king of your life. He might just do something really cool. Now I want you to end your time with God today by saying the prayer on this next screen. So you go ahead and do that now as we prepare our hearts for the coming of Jesus this Christmas.